Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 24th day of February 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. Hope your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are risking their lives to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution and child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that make these industries exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and veterans homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game yesterday in Boston, Massachusetts. The Knicks lost to the Celtics 118-105, and it wasn't that close. The problem was, of course, Boston is the better team right now. So is Cleveland, so is Oklahoma City. Every year, just about, I think, except 1 year, but in Thibodeau's, this is his 5th year, in at least 4 of those 5 years, around the trade deadline, the Knicks made an acquisition that was a difference maker. The first time it was Derrick Rose, if you recall. Then it was Josh Hart. Then last year it was OG Anunoby and Precious Achiuwa. This year the acquisition is a guy that's already on their roster, MitchRob. And so we are hoping that matter of fact, well, the announcement came from BSPN, who knows how true it is or not, but the announcement came that they expect Mitchell Robinson to return this week. That's what it says. Shams is reporting, ESPN reported Sunday that Robinson is aiming to make his debut over the coming week. So we're talking about 2 games. We're talking about Philadelphia on Wednesday, and we're talking about Memphis, I believe, on Friday. So they're home. I believe the Knicks they're at home against Philadelphia on Wednesday. They're at Memphis on Friday. They're at Miami on Sunday, March 2nd. So I'm hoping to see him Wednesday. The Knicks need him badly. Yesterday, there were a lot of things that were bad, but the worst thing is always the defense. Karl-Anthony Towns was horrible yesterday on defense. So was Josh Hart. And with Karl-Anthony Towns, we realized, or at least I realized watching him yesterday, it's his left knee. See, we had this problem with Kemba Walker a few years ago, where basically he started every game and when he first came to the Knicks, but it was only a while. After a while, you could see he was only playing on one leg and he was getting beat defensively. And him getting beat was breaking down the entire defense. Yesterday, Karl-Anthony Towns was, for example, several times. The Celtics were looking to get mismatches for KP. They would get a switch. KP would get a smaller player on him in the area of Karl-Anthony Towns. And instead of doubling to get the ball out of KP's hand, he stands and watches. Didn't even try a couple times. Then a couple times they were doing pick and roll. He would always go under. There's one team you cannot go under against in the NBA for sure. It's the Boston Celtics. And of course, we'd get lit up. He would go under and then he'd be between 10, 15 feet away from the shooter, too late to recover, and they would get open threes, and that's what started the thing off, and it would start off badly. Then when he did a play where he went to the basket and nobody touched him, but his knee was really hurting, so he had to come out. Then I realized all the time it was a sore left knee that's been stopping him from playing good defense. He will put effort offensively, but defensively he will slack off if he has to slack off one and the other. That's why we need Mitchell Robinson. Badly. Okay, badly. Okay, I can understand now why people are talking about playing him and Cat together. Mitchell Robinson, that would never happen. Okay, he would recover quickly. His length will block 3-point shots. Okay, so we do need him. And OG has not yet, gotten his rhythm back. I mean, on either side of the ball. He was also getting beat. As a matter of fact, this is what surprised me about yesterday. There were only really 2 players playing NBA level, playoff level defense yesterday. Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson. That's it. Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson. And Brunson was getting beat also, but you kind of expect that because he's carrying the offense. So Jalen Brunson will never be mistaken for a two-way player, but he was playing better defense than Josh Hart, than Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby. They were all a step slow for different reasons. As I said, Towns and Hart, both of them are playing on one leg right now. OG just not back yet. I mean, he's on the floor, but he's not back yet. Okay. Offensively, he was 2 of 7, 2 of 6 from 3. He was just a step slow defensively. Okay. You cannot win against the Boston Celtics playing like that. Now, when Mitchell Robinson returns, and then, of course, let me give credit. Precious Achiuwa played some defense yesterday. When you have Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa out there with Deuce, you have a chance. And then Cameron Payne always plays good defense. He's helter-skelter, but he plays good defense. As Tibbs described him accurately when he said he's disruptive. Very good, he is. So yesterday, Deuce played 27 minutes. Precious played 15 minutes. Cam played 10. And Landry Shamet played 5. By the way, when they did make the run, the Knicks got within 5, I think, 4 or 5 at one point in the fourth quarter. Shamet was part of that run. He hit 2 threes during the course of that run. Then the Knicks broke down and it was over. See, because, again, Boston's a superior team. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the playoffs, in terms of Cat and Hart. Now, I don't know how bad their knees are because I'm not a doctor. I am hoping that Hart can come back to play an NBA playoff level defense before the playoffs start. I don't know about Gato though. I'm hoping he can too. Karl-Anthony Towns is never going to be an all NBA defender, and I don't expect him to be. But to not even just to look. That's Juju type of situation. You just looking, and within 4 feet of you is KP abusing your fellow teammate, and all you got to do is take a step and a half over there to disrupt and make him give up the ball, and you don't do it. That happened too many times yesterday. It happened too many times. So I don't know if he'll be able to come back from that. Karl-Anthony Towns is an offensive player. So he's of a mindset that he's going to get that's like Juju. See, Juju was an offensive player. So if he's going to take it easy, he's going to take it easy on defense. And you cannot do this in New York. If you want to win, you got to play defense. Okay? If you're incapable because of your injury of playing defense, sit your ass down and let somebody like Precious come in there and play some. We need defense more than anything. We don't need offense. We need defense. Okay, so if we could get that, we'd be good. I don't know if how it's going to be solved. Mitchell Robinson will help a lot in that area, just because of his defensive prowess, his movement, his covering the floor with his length. That we desperately need more than Karl-Anthony Towns, which yesterday he scored 24 and had 18 boards. He uses his size very well to get defensive rebounds. Very well. And then he's very good at rebounding his own misses offensively, which is why he had 5 offensive boards. That's very good. But it's nullified when you are just watching as the best team in the league, or one of the 3 best teams in the league, is lighting you up from 3. And then everybody, look, in the start of the game yesterday, Knicks fans, did you have an understanding that the Celtics were going to try to get mismatches on Kristaps Porzingis? I mean, like anybody that watches basketball, when the Knicks because we were trying to do that, he's 7'3", and he could shoot the 3. So you want mismatches on him. And they kept getting guys like Payne on him, Brunson on him. They wanted that, and they would switch with Towns. You had to know what was coming. So if you were the Knicks, the goal then is to get the ball out of his hands. How do you do that? You run back, you recover, you double him, and then you make him give the ball up, and then you recover. Karl-Anthony Towns at this point cannot do that. Now, he's on the injured list right now. He's listed as day-to-day right now. Look, He's listed as day to day. Put it that way. He's listed as day to day. I would rather him just sit and try to get that knee right as best he can for the playoffs. I would rather that. Honestly, I would, especially with Mitchell Robinson returning. You could start Precious and then bring MitchRob off the bench, and I think defensively that would be better. Because right now, I'm sorry, yes, he scored 24 points at 18 balls. He puts up fantastic offensive numbers. As I said, there is no 5 in the league that could guard him. But that's not how we're going to win the championship. We win the championship on defense. You got to get stops to win the championship. Y'all know, no defense, no bueno. I don't care if you score 30 a game. If you can't stop nobody, it's irrelevant. So yesterday, I was upset watching them and watching that. Watching him get beat and watch him turn around and watch where he was almost like, I would say like he got 7-foot wingspan. I would say maybe an arm's length and a half. And he would be double teaming whoever it was. And he wasn't even moving to go there. Sometimes there'll be a pick and roll and he would just stand there. He would not move to roll the cover. To cover the guy that's going out to shoot. He did it like twice. And I felt like the reason he could do it twice, because that's all he could do it twice, because his leg was probably hurt. He's hurt. He was hurting the Knicks yesterday. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. My point in saying is that with all the offense he brought, that was beautiful, but he was hurting the Knicks because against the top 3 teams, you must get stops. Okay, that's how you beat them. You don't beat them because you're scoring 24 and getting 18 or scoring 40. Matter of fact, he scored 40 against one of the 3 top teams before, and we lost. So the 40 points don't mean nothing. We need defense. Thibodeau knows this. I'm not saying anything Tom Thibodeau don't already know. So I'm waiting to see how this shakes out when Mitchell Robinson returns. And I'm hoping he returns against Philly. That would be nice to get him back. Even 10 to 15 minutes against Philly would be excellent. Okay? Because like I said, yesterday, the Knicks did make a run with Deuce, Shamet, and Brunson on the court together. They did make a run. They got within 5. Okay? As good as Boston is, they're not unlike any other NBA team. They're going to go through cold periods. Every team does. You can start off killing, but you're going to go through cold periods. And what you're doing is you're hoping that the lead you built can withstand your cold period when the other team is making a run. The Knicks did that yesterday. And I was just imagining if we had MitchRob on the floor with them 3 when they were making that run, that they might have overcome them, But right now, it is what it is. So the way things are, the way they stand right now, the Knicks in their present condition can beat anybody except the big 3. Okay? In their present condition, they can beat any team. They can handily beat any team except those 3. Now, the problem that they have, or maybe we should say the opportunity they have, is they're going to play both of those teams again. They're going to play Cleveland on April 2nd at Cleveland. They're going to play Boston on April 8th at the Garden. So you got them both again. You got to play them both again. They're both going to be back for you. So you're going to have to be ready to play them when those times come. That's April now. So we're hoping we got the full contingent come April, right? So that's what we're looking at. Right now, the Knicks are solidly in the 3rd spot in the East. They are 4 games behind Boston and 4 games ahead of Indiana for the 4th spot in the East right now. I think they should be able to hold on to that. So what you're looking at, if the playoff were to start today, the Knicks would be playing a 7-game series against the Detroit Pistons. I believe the Knicks could beat the Detroit Pistons in a 7-game series because they're the better team right now. But I'm not taking that for granted. But then the second round, they'd have to play Boston or Cleveland. Okay? So if we want to go to the ECF, there's got to be a change, an improvement of what I'm saying. Not a change, but an improvement, a change in how they play defense, an improvement in how they play. Again, offensively, it's irrelevant. Well, you might get McCall score 22 or he might get 7. Okay, OG might get 40 or he might get 7. That's cool. But if we're playing tight defense, top level, Tom Thibodeau style defense, it don't matter. Okay, we'll be all right. See, with defense, you could be in every game. Every game. It's already proven. Here, the Cats got 24 and 18, and we lost big time. Big time. Okay, yesterday. It wasn't even close. It was 118-105, but it wasn't that close. Okay, and then, like I said, the Knicks did make a serious run in the fourth quarter after being down more than 20. They did. And so, like I said, what didn't get them over the hump? They needed that extra defensive. That's what it was, man. So, right now, like I said, we're it is what it is. I can't say if only we had Mitchell Robinson and it is what it is. You got to go with what you got. You got to go to battle with what you have available. I just am feeling like Towns is doing more damage than good. I know he scores a lot of points and it gives the illusion that, well, man, we're without Towns. No, this ain't high school, man. You got to get stops in the league. Okay? You could score all kind of points, but you got to get stops in the league. And if you're the weak link, even if you're scoring the most, see, we have that in Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is usually the weak link. And yesterday he was 9 of 19, 4 3-pointers. He had 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. He scored 22. He didn't play his greatest game yesterday. But he did, I have to say, he did give his all on the defensive end of the floor. Okay, it was him, Deuce, and Precious playing defense. And then you have Cameron Payne. They were playing defense yesterday. Okay, the rest of them, I mean, OG is, like I said, he ain't there yet. Towns was completely irrelevant on the defensive end of the floor. Hart also could not move at all on the defensive end. See, when you're playing defense, this is the thing. The most important thing, aside from desire, you have to be able to move laterally. Okay, you have to be able to cover ground in a quick manner laterally. Defensively. That's how you got to do it. It's not like flat out speed like a 40-yard sprint. No. It's quickness. It's like the way a squirrel's act when he's scrambling in the fall to get nuts. You got to be like that. You got to be able to scramble and you got to be able to move laterally. If you can't move laterally, you're going to get beat. Okay? And neither Hart nor Towns could move laterally yesterday. They just couldn't. Not consistently. They tried it a couple of times. I saw Hart. They tried a couple of times, but they just didn't have it. One of their legs is messed up. They're doing it on one leg. In the league, it's like being in the jungle. If you're the weak lamb, there's gonna come a cheetah and take you. They're looking for that. Okay. And Celtics, one of the reasons they're the top 3 in the league, and they're second in the East, and they're defending champions. They are elite at finding the weak link on the opponent's defense and exploiting it. They are elite at that, okay? They will find it. If it's Jrue Holiday's man, if it's KP, they will find the weak link. And that's what makes them dangerous with the full contingent of having KP, because they will use him to exploit the defensive weakness. If you don't get the ball out his hands, you're going to have a long night. Like the Knicks did last night. They're going to have a long night, man. And Porzingis, he was 6 of 15. He was 2 of 9 from the 3-point line. He didn't shoot the ball great, but he would get the ball in the paint with a shorter dude on him. If you're the Knicks, they got to know you can't let that happen. But if Cat is not playing defense, what are you going to do? If Hart can't move, what are you going to do? Okay? There's nothing you can do. That's it. Because that's called a breakdown. Once a defense of 5 men gets broken down, game over. Okay? That's it. Game over. And that's what the Knicks are good at when they're healthy and playing defense. They play in defense, and Brunson breaks the defense down by getting in the paint. And that's why the Knicks are successful when they're playing defense and they're healthy. We already got one guy that could score and be unstoppable. It's Jalen Brunson. We need the rest of y'all to play some defense, Gato. Okay? Or just sit until your knee feels better. Okay, because we don't, 24 and 18, that's great. We lost big time. Okay? Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm venting a little bit, but that's the way it is. So from right now, we got to get Mitchell Robinson back in this lineup. I'm hoping he comes back against Philly on Wednesday. Obviously, he's not going to start, but we need him to play about 15 minutes and give us some defense. with the second unit of him, Deuce, Payne, and even Shamet, they will play better defense. They did it already. They've been doing it yesterday. With him in there, that just adds to that, okay? So let's get MitchRob back in this lineup. Let's get the difference maker here, and let's get this thing done, man. We got some games to play, okay? So again, Philly at home, and then Memphis at Memphis. That's going to be a tough game, and that Memphis game is a 2-game road trip. They play Memphis at Memphis, and then they play Miami at Miami before they come back home next Tuesday to play Golden State Warriors, which ain't no joke either. So they got a couple games on the road. I'm going to guarantee Mitchell, unless he has a setback, he's definitely going to be back against Miami on Sunday. But I'm looking for him to be back Wednesday against Philly. That's what I'm looking for. And that would be really good. None too soon. Anyway, that was the Knicks this weekend. Lost to the 2 of the 3 top teams because they're not ready, because they don't have their full contingent, and because they're not, Gato's hurt, Hart is hurt. They can't play defense right now. Let's hope it gets better. I'm confident it will. It starts with the return of the block mess. Y'all enjoy your Monday. Shalom.